Happy Friday, everyone. It is Eric here with weather for Weather Geeks. As we get set for the weekend, I wish I had better news in the short term and the long term, especially if you're not a big fan of wintry weather. You are really not going to like the extended forecast as we go into early December. But we've had our first taste of winter over the last 24 hours or so. Snow totals over the last 24 hours going back to the 7 o'clock hour on Thursday evening. Very light, of course, here locally. We officially registered a little over a half an inch worth of snow between yesterday and early last night at the airport. But if you watched the Browns-Steelers game on Amazon Prime last night, you know it was snowing like crazy up in the Cleveland area. It made for some really, really cool sights up there during the game. Now, some of the snow that accumulated, especially east of Cleveland, occurred before the 7 o'clock hour last evening, so you're not going to see that represented here. But nonetheless, since 7 o'clock last evening, 3, 4, 5 inches of snow, pretty common, including up towards downtown Cleveland as well. Now, today, the snow has been mostly focused, or just about all the way focused, to our east. Some of the higher terrain, the Laurel Highlands, south and east of Pittsburgh, up to a half a foot or so worth of snow there. And the overall bullseye thus far has actually been up towards Binghamton, New York. Check out some of these snowfall totals over the last 24 hours near the Pennsylvania-New York border. Double-digit snowfall amounts here, very common from the Poconos to the Catskills, and heading up towards the southern end of the Finger Lakes in western New York as well. That's where the kind of the bullseye has been in terms of snow today. Now, where we have elevations mostly over 2,500 to 3,000 feet, blizzard warnings are out for the mountains of West Virginia. That's this kind of reddish color right here. Now, up in these ski resort areas, it's not unusual to have way more snow than the lower elevations, but a blizzard warning is, not something they see very often there or anywhere in the state of West Virginia, and the snow continues to pile up there. Back here at home, it's not snow, but it is the rain, and, it's just been kind of a gloomy, gloomy day. And it's going to be just like this overnight tonight as well. Light to moderate rain, driven by some winds. We've got some lake enhancement going on here. If the temperatures were colder, this would be a big-time lake effect snow event, but instead it's lake enhanced and lake effect rain, I should say, and that'll continue overnight, and we'll get off to a damp start Saturday morning as well. Now, overall, Saturday will not be quite as wet as today, but still, there's going to be that chance of seeing at least a little bit of rain or some drizzle at just about any point. The raindrops probably most numerous early in the day, but even in the afternoon, I don't want to discount the idea that there could be some renegade showers and little bits of drizzle and sprinkles and things like that under a sea of clouds for our Saturday. Sunday promises to be a better day. It'll be dry from start to finish. Maybe there's a few peaks of sun before the afternoon is through on Sunday, but here comes our next weather maker quickly on Monday, producing a pretty good chance of showers, especially in the afternoon and into Monday night. So temperature-wise this weekend, pretty typical for the second half of November. 45 on Saturday, 48 on Sunday. Sunday, one of the better days in the foreseeable future, I should say. While it will be a little bit milder on Monday, it'll be colder starting Tuesday. And then this is what we'll be keeping an eye on all weekend long into next week. Now, our forecast confidence is low, even abnormally low, for days 5 and 6 of our current forecast. And that includes a holiday, of course. Thanksgiving is coming up on Thursday. The reason why the confidence in the forecast is so low, there is a large computer model spread about the very existence of a potential winter storm. Some models don't even think it exists. Some models have a pretty potent low-pressure system taking a somewhat favorable track to bring us maybe some white stuff in time for Wednesday night and into Thanksgiving Day and maybe into parts of Friday as well. I think, if this occurs, most of the steady snow by Friday would be more focused in New England, and we'd be kind of on the backlash side of that storm with maybe some lake effect snow showers. But the storm may not even occur. We have model disagreement right now. My gut feeling is that there is a storm, but it'll be a pretty fast mover. We might get grazed or broad brushed with a modest accumulation of snow, maybe just enough to set the mood for Thanksgiving Day, but not all the snow in the world. That's kind of my gut feeling right now, but stay tuned. Stay up on the forecasts over the weekend and into early next week, as we will certainly be fine-tuning them as more model information becomes available, and hopefully the models start singing from the same hymnal. And just a little bit of a peek behind the curtain here as to what some of our medium range models are showing. You know, the GFS is the red line. That's the Global Forecast System model. It's a US based model. Basically has nothing. The European is much more ambitious about some sort of storm. That's the purple line. That's this one right here. It would suggest, you know, some accumulating snow late Wednesday through Friday. The GFS ensemble model, kind of a different approach to weather modeling, an ensemble approach where you have 20 or 30 or even up to 50 different what we call members that go into a model suite, and you kind of take the average of all the outcomes of all those members of the model suite. That's the blue line. So it's related to the GFS, but it does show a little more than the GFS is showing in terms of snowfall. So bottom line, there's a lot of uncertainty. Stay tuned for the Thanksgiving forecast. High confidence, though, that, boy, it's going to turn cold. From Thanksgiving into the first week to 10 days of December, I think December and meteorological winter will get off to a fast start. I think this is the most deep blue we've seen on a 6 to 10 day or 8 to 14 day temperature outlook for our area since it got really cold at Christmas time back in 2022. It's been almost 2 years since we've seen this much high confidence in an extended period being cold. So I think, not only is it going to be cold, I think the lakes, which are very, very warm, the Great Lakes are very warm compared to the average, they'll be wide open for business, and I think we're going to have several lake effect snow events and situations to contend with at the end of November, maybe before the holiday weekend is through, and then certainly into early December as well. And so while the primary snow belts are mostly just to the north of our TV viewing area, lake effect snow still impacts our TV viewing area with a fair amount of frequency given certain setups, certain wind directions. So we're gonna be busy, I think, weather-wise in early December. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks as always for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you back here Monday evening, same time, same place.